Hi, in today's lesson we're going to look at the difference between the words other, others, the other and another. This video has been requested by Anshul Sherawat. Anshul, thanks for the suggestion and I hope it helps you feel more confident in using these words. So the most important thing you need to know is that they can be used as determiners and pronouns. So what's the difference? Well, determiners qualify a noun, whereas a pronoun is when we replace the noun. They both mean the same, and that is something that is additional or extra. It might be an alternative or different types of something. And this is why I see many students confuse how to use them. Also, do note that another is the indefinite article of an plus other, but we do write it as one word, another. So first up, let's look at them as determiners. That is when we use them with a noun. Remember, also determiners tell us whether the noun is general or specific. So to simplify things, the general rule is that with singular countable nouns, we can use another. And here its meaning is additional. So I need another book. Here book is a singular countable noun and you want an additional book. So you use another and not other. Or would you like another cup of coffee? Here it's an additional cup of coffee, the countable noun, a cup of coffee. Whereas with plural countable nouns and uncountable nouns, we can use other. So for instance, I need other books. Books is a plural countable noun and you want additional books. So also you could say, I have invited some other people to the party. People here is an uncountable noun and you have invited alternative or additional people to the party. But if only it was that simple. I'm now going to show you that you can use other with singular countable nouns and another with plural nouns. I know, but you have to make some other changes to the sentence. So if we're referring to the second of two things or people, or the opposite of a set of two, we use other with singular countable nouns. But if we use other, we must use another determiner before it. So for instance, I don't like the red one, I prefer the other colour, not I prefer other colour. And we have previously mentioned one of two things. Or Bill is working now, but our other son is still at university. Here we're talking about the second of two sons. And we can use another with plural countable nouns if we put a number between another and the noun. So I'm going to spend another 3 days working on my project. Here we're referring to an additional 3 days, and here days is a plural noun. So we must have a number between another and the plural noun. We can also use the other with a plural noun, and this means the remaining people or things in a group or set. So for instance, Jay and Mary are here, but where are the other children? In other words, the remaining children in a group. Where are the other 2 dinner plates? I can only find 4. Here we're referring to the remaining things in a set, here of 6 plates. Also, when other is used as a determiner, it does not have a plural form. So for instance, these shoes are too big. Do you have any other shoes? Here we're qualifying the noun shoes and not replacing it. So other is used as a determiner and not a pronoun. Shoes is a plural noun, but other is written with no S. So you don't say, do you have any others' shoes? No. We can also say another to qualify the pronoun one and other to qualify the pronoun ones. For example, I have already eaten 2 sandwiches, but I still want another one, an additional sandwich. We don't need those chairs, we need other ones. Other ones is replacing other chairs. Here we have the pronoun ones, and the meaning is clear from the text before that we are referring to the chairs. So now let's look at when we use others and another as pronouns, that is replacing a noun. Firstly, you can't have other with no S as a pronoun. It is only others with an S. If you're replacing a plural noun, you use others with an S. Others with an S is only a pronoun and not a determiner. So you would say, I don't want those sandwiches. Do you have any others? In other words, any other sandwiches? Or some of my friends arrive tonight, others arrive tomorrow. In other words, other friends. Here we're replacing the noun with the pronoun others. Finally, let's look at another as a pronoun. That is when it replaces the singular noun. So you could say, that drink was refreshing, I think I'll have another, an additional drink. So that's it for now. I hope you're feeling more confident about using other, others, the other, and another. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel down below so you never miss a lesson. And there are more lessons in this playlist that you may enjoy too. So that's it for now, but I'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.